It's time to rest your eyes and drift into a gentle story. While you snuggle down and relax, I'll read to you about the Treasure of Whispering Cove. In a quiet village by the sea, where the waves hummed lullabies and lanterns swayed in the evening breeze, there lived a boy named Theo. He had sandy hair, pockets full of seashells, and a mind always dreaming off to far-off places. Theo lived with his grandmother, Nanny, in a little blue cottage with white shutters and a weather vane shaped like a whale. Nanny told the best bedtime stories, ones about sailor cats, jellyfish balls, and underwater trains. But the story Theo loved the most was the one about Whispering Cove. Long ago, Nanny would begin, a treasure was hidden in the cove, tucked behind a curtain of sea mist. But it wasn't a treasure of gold or coins. It was something far more important, a secret only brave and kind hearts could find. Every night Theo would ask, "Do you think it's real?" And Nanny would always smile. "Some things only show themselves when you are ready," she would say. One evening, just as the tide was pulling back and the stars were beginning to blink above the waves, Theo stood by the shore, tossing pebbles into the water. Something shiny bumped against his foot. It was a bottle, an old one, with a note inside. Theo uncorked the bottle and gently took out the paper. It read, "If you are reading this, the cove is calling you. Bring only courage and kindness. The path begins with the tide." Theo's heart beat faster. He slipped the note into his pocket, grabbed his flashlight, and whispered, "I'm ready." Theo followed the trail of moonlight across the sand. As he walked, the sea shimmered oddly, and soon a staircase of glowing blue stones appeared, just where the tide had been moments earlier. He stepped onto the first one. It felt warm, like sunlight on wood. With each step, the sea grew quieter, the stars brighter, until he reached a tall rock arch covered in sea glass. He ducked beneath it and entered the Whispering Cove. Inside the cove, the wind didn't howl or whistle. It whispered, really whispered. Theo paused and tilted his head. Brave, gentle, curious. The wind curled around him like a hug. He wasn't afraid. He walked forward until he reached a pool of still water surrounded by driftwood. a small voice rose from the pool. To find the treasure, you must pass 3 kindnesses. Theo nodded. Further down the cove, he found a crab stuck in a net. It clicked its claws in panic. Theo knelt down. "Easy, little guy." He untangled the net carefully, even when the crab pinched at his finger. "Ouch! It's okay," Theo said. "You're just scared." The crab finally scuttled free and disappeared into the rocks. Where it had stood, a small pearl shimmered. Theo picked it up. Next, he came to a cave wall painted with glowing drawings, but some were faded and chipped. A brush and glowing ink sat nearby. Theo didn't hesitate. He began to repaint the pictures. Waves, fish, stars, and even a little cottage like his own. As he painted, the wall glowed brighter, and a second pearl appeared. Finally, Theo reached a circle of mirrors carved into driftwood frames. They showed moments he remembered. A time he had stumbled. A time he had cried. A time he had been too afraid to try. He looked at his reflection. "I'm still learning," he said, "and that's okay." The mirror shimmered, and a third pearl appeared in his hand. Theo placed all 3 pearls on a smooth stone shaped like a heart. The cove around him began to glow. The wind sang, the water shimmered, and then the treasure appeared. Not gold, not jewels, a book. The cover was made of shell and sea glass. Inside were blank pages. A voice whispered, "The true story is the story you live. You are kind, and you are brave, and you are ready." Theo held the book close. The sea steps reappeared, leading him home. Theo returned to the beach at sunset. He sat beside Nanny and opened the shimmering book. The first page now held a drawing. A boy, a crab, a glowing cave, and a circle of mirrors. Nanny smiled. "So you found it," she said. Theo nodded. "And it wasn't gold. It was better." He looked at the sky and whispered to the stars, "I'm ready for the next story."